hate. And one of the founders runs Moon Rabbit. CGTN's Francis Coe has a story.
The restaurant was born in the unluckiest of times, October 2021, during the COVID-19 pandemic.
What a terrible year. I just need some luck.
But Chef Kevin Tien, a first-generation Vietnamese American, would look inside himself to set a different tone.
We talked about how rabbits are lucky animals, and I'm the year of the rabbit. I was like, well, I hope this turns around.
And that would spark the idea to name his restaurant Moon Rabbit, a nod to a story Tien once heard from his grandmother.
And the tale of Moon Rabbit is the story about sacrifice and thinking of others. You have a moon goddess right here behind me. And they are looking for an animal with a lot of great virtue to make the elixir of life for the gods. There's a fox that forages. There's a sea otter that catches fish. But the rabbit didn't think it could offer anything that was of good nourishment. So the rabbit threw itself into a fire to sacrifice itself to nourish this god.
That story of sacrifice runs deep at Moon Rabbit, an ode to his childhood and his family, which helped nurture his love of cooking.
I'm in the kitchen with my grandma, right? Stirring the pot. We're making dumplings, making bao buns. I'm picking herbs, and then single mom. So she worked a lot. You can never imagine how we grew up, how they grew up, that I could be cooking in such a beautiful space and sharing so many important dishes and recipes with so many different people.
Tien's restaurant is one of the most popular in Washington, D.C., with Tien garnering national recognition. But this top chef describes his dishes with much humility.
You'll see touches of my childhood in a lot of these dishes. So it doesn't matter where you're from, you'll be able to identify with something.
This is especially the case with Tien's special Lunar New Year menu.
But Lunar New Year's was very special to me because growing up, it was when I saw all the family together, right? Not only did we celebrate through food, but we celebrated by going to temple and celebrating the life of our grandparents who had passed away and paying our respects. Breadcrumbs that we mixed with fried garlic, Korean chili flakes.
Among the foods they shared, noodles to represent longevity.
You fold all your ingredients inside.
Tien sat down with me to make another dish, pork dumplings, designed to look like purses, symbolic of good fortune.
And my purse isn't as nice. It's not a Louis Vuitton. This is just definitely Target.
But Tien has made a brand all his own. And at least for him, this symbol of the rabbit, the luckiest of them all.
As long as you're being true to your food and true to yourself, then everything else kind of falls in place, right?
Francis Coe, CGTN, Washington.
After twice being postponed